Hey everybody, how you doing? Here is the long-awaited introduction video to CSD 5660, Evidence-Based Practice in Communication Sciences and Disorders. I'm Joe Klein, and I have had a lot of you as students before, but I know a couple of you I haven't, and I look forward to getting to know you. The course is really based on just a few things. This will be very much a student-driven course, and you've got a few assignments here. So just really quickly, I want to focus on your paper today so you can get started on that and move forward with that. The speech bite assignment is not working. That is under construction. Thank you for your emails about that. So we're going to remove that, and I will integrate that into your paper. In a later section of your paper, we'll have just a little bit about that. So, and I'll give you more information on that as we go. The city training is the other thing. Please complete that city training. And then, like I said, the big part of your grade and of the course and of the material really is the paper that you're going to do. So you can read all this good stuff, right? You're going to have 10 references at least. You probably need more to do pretty well. At least 6 of them have to be journal articles levels 1 to 3. We can talk about what that means. Papers should be between 10 and 20 pages. And I can't read drafts, but I'm happy to Zoom with you and talk about things. So, all right, section 1, evidence-based practice. So this is a section that you can work on right now. So this section should be about 1 page long and have a minimum of 2 sources. At least 1 source must be from ASHA, and at least 1 source must be from a journal article. This section will answer what is evidence-based practice, the definition, and the 4 steps of the process, and what is its purpose. And you'll end the section by telling the reader that you will use this process to identify the best possible treatment for your client. So, okay, so you've got to just tell me what is evidence-based practice, why is it important, right? So for that, right, we've got the PowerPoint slides or the Google slides you've got, right? They just talk about how evidence-based practice is important, how ASHA really wants you to understand evidence-based practice, and that there's good research out there now that students that are introduced to evidence-based practice as grad students and do it and work on it are more likely to actually use it, understand it, and do it well as they become professionals. So for your section of the paper, this is your first, right? Use ASHA as your one of your citations, right? You've got to have 10 references. Well, this is your first one. Tell us that evidence-based practice is the integration of clinical expertise, expert opinion, plus external and internal research evidence, and also data collection from your client. And then third, the client, patient, caregiver perspectives, values, and goals of our client and family. And that the goal here is that when all 3 components of evidence-based practice are considered, clinicians make informed decisions, and it ends up providing high-quality services, giving the client what they want. So that's really the outcome, right? The goal is that if we do these things, if we're considering all 3 of these areas and not just 1 or not just 2, but we're using all 3 of these to treat our clients, that we're going to provide the best possible care to our clients. Here are the steps. So I really want you to kind of take some time, check this out. So, all right, the steps of evidence-based practice. We've got, 4 main steps: framing your clinical question, gathering evidence, assessing the evidence, make your clinical decision, So that's all going to be here. So just talk a little bit about that, right? And that is going to be, whoops, that's going to be really section 1 for that. Drink. Okay. Section 2 is your clinical scenario in question. This section is about 1 full page and have no sources. This is where you'll describe your client that you're creating and the therapy setting, and then end with your clinical question in the PICO format, right, which is going to be part of, right, that's going to be wrapped into here, right, I've got PICO right here, a little discussion of that, and also, right, when we go to frame your question on the ASHA website, right, they're going to talk about PICO. So again, check this out. So that's going to give you information about how to do that. Now, right, the big question is, what do you mean I'm making up a client? How do I do that? What does that look like? What in the world are we doing? Use the evidence-based practice briefs as your guide for how to do this. So that is up there. So this is kind of a little bit of a weird website. A couple of the websites we're going to use are a little bit unusual, but they're really good websites. So check out all of these. So there are 14 volumes with, and each sort of case is its own issue. So just kind of see, okay, what's my topic? What am I interested in? And then what's one that we could do? Right, so I might go down and say, hey, look, stuttering treatment. I want to do that one. So we're going to click on that, and then evidence-based practice, Scroll down to give you a nice little abstract here. All right, and then you're going to give, right, so clinical scenario, a little bit of background information, right? So here, all right, so you know what? This is not really, okay, this doesn't have a specific client, it looks like. So a lot of them have a specific client. I should not have picked that one. Let me pick, hold on. All right, let's go to TBI. Let's see if we get there. Okay, so read a few of these and figure out what we're doing here. So, okay, clinical scenario. Okay, here we go. Natalie works with Owen. So it gives a little something about the speech therapist and client. So Natalie works with Owen, a 16-year-old who sustained a severe TBI. You can either use, so I want you to do APA format, but if you want to do first person, so talk about it as an I, or talk about yourself in third person, whatever you want to. So you're going to say, okay, this is my client. I'm going to say, here's how old they are, here's who they are. Give a little, paragraph about some background information about what they're doing, right? So, and then, right, we get training programs, and then, right, they have a clinical question, right? So Natalie used the PICO, Population Intervention Comparison Outcome Framework, right? Children, adolescents, all that good stuff. So the P, the I, the C, the O, right? So the population, the intervention, the comparison, intervention, and the outcome, right? So that's basically what I want you to do. So use this. So this one was the one I clicked on here, just so you know. That was issue 3 from July 2017. That has a pretty good sort of outline. Just kind of, you can do just what they have. So clinical scenario in question. So you're making up your client, therapy setting. So use the evidence-based practice briefs. Use maybe read 3 of those scenarios, and you can even use information from them in your paper too. You can cite them if you want to. So you can end up with that PICO answer. All right, section 3, clinical expertise, expert opinion. So here, you can kind of start about that. So you can just kind of write, give us a little information about yourself, right? Who are you? Why do you think, what is it that you have? Maybe what classes have you had before? Think about this broadly. So what kind of clinical expertise, expert opinion are you coming with, right? Maybe you've already had therapy with clients who you have chosen. If it's TBI and you had a placement and you had a client with TBI, and then talk about that. Or maybe you haven't had them, but maybe you've had a class, maybe you've had some undergrad, maybe you've had nothing, but you've worked at a summer camp with, kids that age or something, right? Anything you've got. So just kind of, I want you to brainstorm here. It might, if you have a lot of experience, it might be longer. If you don't have a lot of experience, it might be shorter. And then just kind of answer these questions here. So, and then I want you to use the ASHA practice portal, give you a little bit of information about the disorder, the prevalence, etiology, that good stuff. So that's all here in section 3. So, you should be able to get a good start on your paper with this information. So I will post this and I will send out an email for you, and then we'll get started, and I'll post new information for week 2 on Monday. Hope you're doing well, and I'm going to respond to your emails too right now. Bye-bye.